Good evening, everybody. It has been quite some time, plus a couple weeks. We've had a lot of things just come up at the last minute. So, at that point, thank you for being patient with us. Welcome to Falskallan Nights. Welcome to Dire Bear. I am your host, the Bard with no name. I just want to say one more thing before we get into announcements. Happy anniversary, Mom and Dad.
Yay!
Oh, how many years is it now? Oh, Jesus, I didn't even do the math. Whatever. You haven't killed each other yet, and I know it's not for lack of trying. So I hopefully it's everything works out. But before we go into tonight's game, let's get into tonight's announcements with Tom. Tom, go for it.
Thank you as always, JT, and thank you, adventurers! We are so happy to have you back here with us in Falscala. It's going to be a very interesting night. Diamondback is imprisoned. Team Them is, I won't say shattered, but I'd like to think the absence is felt. Now, before we get further into that sort of stuff, though, we do have to address a tiny bit of an elephant in the room concerning the person who put Diamondback in prison. Now, you may have, if you have not already, recognized the similarity between the name of Diamondback's rival Tobias of Keith and the country singer Toby Keith, who sadly passed away from stomach cancer at the beginning of this month. In the interest of full disclosure, as the person who came up with the name, this similarity is intentional. In crafting the backstory to Diamondback, I wanted to give him a musical counterpoint, someone who could contrast the more story-driven, kind of grassroots, folky style of country that I prefer, with the more materialistic, nationalistic, and uber macho style of country, often colloquially known as bro country. Now, I can fully accept that I might have gotten this classification wrong in terms of Keith's music, but for better or worse, his name was the one that sprang to mind. So I decided to poke a little fun at the genre. That's what this was always intended to be, though. The name was meant to invoke the genre rather than specifically the man himself. A bit of an Easter egg for those in the know. I will also say that at the time I concocted this character, I was not aware that Mr. Keith was sick. Now, after Toby Keith's passing, we did discuss as a group what would be best to do with the Tobias character, especially considering he is going to play a pivotal role this season. We have elected not to change the name. Tobias of Keith, as he exists right now, is a caricature in this story, a satirical jab at certain styles of music and politics. The mustache-twirling villain that JT so wonderfully plays him as bears very little resemblance to Mr. Keith himself, and I know that the dastardly character we have in our story would not have been able to deal with such a terrible disease as cancer with the grace and good humor that Toby Keith certainly exhibited in his last days. We believe that the commentary surrounding music and politics, exemplified by this character, remains valid. We trust ourselves to maintain that commentary without making light of Toby Keith himself, his death, or the wicked disease that stole him from a loving family who deserved more time with him. And now, with that, we return you to our regularly scheduled ad break, starting with, of course, D&D Beyond. Their platform allows us to keep all of our campaign info and character sheets in one place. They've got extensive character creation tools, expandable notes sections, and just about every source book you can name. Their spell section also has a comprehensive breakdown of all the components you completely forget about every time you sling magic at your enemies. But then again, components are one of those optional rules that people don't really use, like encumbrance, or taking an action to quaff a health potion, or keeping accurate track of your hit points. Thank you, D&D Beyond, for supporting us and our short-term memory loss. Our next sponsor is one that you absolutely want to commit to memory, of course. FX May Vary is a genre-hopping, hard-rocking, dice-rolling band of magnificent musicians from Newmarket, Ontario, who recently joined the rarefied air of Dire Bear supporters. They balance toe tapping tunes with mental health advocacy, and two of their esteemed number are even in one of our D&D shows. You can seek them out on YouTube, Spotify, just about any place where music is streamed, and you can reach out to them on Facebook and Instagram. Their music is designed to be enjoyed by everyone and may promote feelings of happiness, an impulsive desire to move rhythmically, a desire to share with others, and a compulsion to follow the band on social media. As always, individual effects may vary. Those, of course, are not our only sponsors, though. That's right. If you so wish, you too can join the rarefied air of Dire Bear supporters on Patreon with a bunch of fun rewards you can dig into. Discord privileges, merch, mentions at the end of our streams. Now, with Diamondback incarcerated, that does leave it up in the air on Wednesday nights whether or not I will still be singing the names of certain Patreons. Gotta stick around to find out. If you even want to, you can also sign up for monthly voice acting lessons with myself if you're someone who's always wanted to give your characters accents, affectations, or sounds that are entirely inhuman. I would love to put my skills as a voiceover and radio professional at your disposal. Hop on over to patreon.com/direbearac and become part of the magic. And of course, while you're at it, why not wear your Dire Bear love on your sleeve, your legs, your head, just about any part of yourself, really. The Dire Bear merch store on Streamlabs has some roaring great merchandise for all your nerdy needs. We've got t-shirts, hoodies, sweatpants. I am still the owner of the only set of hashtag Daddy Diamondback hot pants in existence. Thank you again, Lissa. And I continue to attempt to manifest more. We do, however, have tank tops now. The Beyond Alignment set of Pride merch includes our first set of tank tops, so you can exercise your right to bear arms in the most inclusive way possible. Beyond Alignment is also featured on t-shirts with variants including the non-binary, trans, and BLM Pride colors, as a great reminder that human rights are a year-round battle. JT, back over to you.
Man, it's been a while. I don't remember how to go into this, so go. So we're gonna do things a little bit different. Instead of going into Team Them, our regular band of idiots, we're going into a new band of idiots.
Woo.
We want to kind of lead into what happened to Diamondback and how everything is going to interconnect afterwards. So, in turn, we're going to follow the Hallowed Revolt for a little bit. The Hallowed Revolt started when the minor houses in the royal duchy of Koduria have finally had enough with the oppressive power the king was exerting among the lands he controlled. Through his viceroy, Tobias Keith. Using their connections, a group of entrusted people of the Hallowed Revolt was formed. 5 houses controlling separate factions among the revolutionary bands. House Solva, House Murkra, House Zeth, House Balefrost, and House Falair. Shiren of House Falair taking the mantle of the Hallowed Matron, running this whole revolt herself. She decided that it was best to split all the power and strike individually between each house. That way, better. But this would not last for long, not without proper for support from outside interests. Years into this endeavor, the Hallowed Matron received a letter from the neighboring country of Falscala, requesting help in retrieving an asset of theirs from the clutches of the Kodurian viceroy.
Mm.
This would be well compensated for and would like to be further discussed in Onver itself. Taking her personal group of Hellraisers, Shiren and her team started marching along the Meadows Vale, the main pathway towards the eastern laying country that has requested her help. So, let me just get my map so I realize where you guys are at right now. So, at this point, we're about a month back in time
Ooh.
from when Diamondback actually got took. You guys are walking on Altad's path. This is the main connection between Astad, the main city, the capital of Koduria, to Castle Onver. Well, to Onver itself. You're about a week into this journey, and it is cold, it is blistering. Sometimes you've taken rides with caravans that have been going the way. Sometimes you've decided to change it up in case people were following you. But around you are basically rolling hills. Lots of lots of trees that have already shed their leaves and are in full winter hibernation. It isn't exactly a very populous road, but because it is one of the main roads with the Koiharan Empire way back in the day, it was well maintained and it was basically the only through path to Anver from the Western Empire that once was. Following this through, you are on the side of the road at this point. It is night. It is cold, but you have your tents. You've got everything set up. And at this point, let's start with the introductions. So, well, let's start with the Hallowed Matron herself, Shiren.
All right. Standing in the midst of this, what I'm going to assume is still our particular brand of organized chaos, is a tall, lean, high elven woman. Very sharp features. She actually, like, looks very hawkish in her visage. She's got a kind of cocky little grin on her face, wavy black hair that's been tamed up into a tight bun, nice wide brimmed hat, sturdy leather armor, and a kind of scarlet half cape with sort of orange diamondback rattlesnake patterns having been sewn into it. Standing there with one hand on the hilt of her rapier and the other just kind of resting on her hip.
That Reedon.
Uh, Reedon is a short, gnomish fellow, dark complexion, completely bald head, nice and smooth like a cue ball. But that contrasts to his bushy white eyebrows and thick handlebar mustache that he's rocking, along with his black plate mail armor that has kind of goldish trim to it. And he's kind of leaning against his greatsword, which is pretty much the same size as him.
Valistair.
Alistair is a half elf. I think Captain America. Tall, athletic, not bulky, but not thin. Has a kind face with short blonde hair, fair skin, and he generally has a shield and tabard over his chainmail, both emblazoned with the symbol of his deity and a mace at his side.
Eerie.
You see, a shorter, curvy ochre skin tone tiefling. She's got such frizzy curls, but she tries to keep it up and out of her face because it can be a little bit of a liability. But usually when she's in the camp, she'll let it all out and let that poof around her horns. She always travels around with her trusty little homunculus barn owl named Duffy, and he's literally a hoot. You'll love him. She tends to wear her working clothes, so she has a nice blacksmith's apron, but don't think it's just regular leather. It's pretty sturdy because right underneath, and part of it is that this armor that she has, it's that molten bronze skin, so it looks like her skin tone, but it's a little shimmery. But don't test her because you'll learn real fast what she's capable of. She also has a little bit of some grease on her cheeks. There's always something smudged on her, whether that be grease or some sort of paint and touch-ups. And maybe some magical potions. Who knows what she's been up to late at night, but sometimes you'll just hear her giggling around, and she has a bunch of gadgets on her waist and her belt. And she's got a big old walk-in desk. But not just a big desk, it just looks like a little side table, you think.
You have a walking table? I didn't approve this. No, I did. Shit.
Well, she's always she likes to have her stuff near her. Her workshop where she learned everything is the most important place in the world to her, so might as well just have it travel with her constantly.
That's rare. All right. Work.
Warwick is a small, lean, androgynous figure, neither presenting male nor female. Usually in leather armor with a green poncho covering their dark eyes and dark hair. She carries, or sorry, they. It takes some getting used to with that pronoun. They carry a crossbow, as well as a bandolier of daggers across their chests.
Perfect. And last but not least, Dolly.
Dolly is a real buff dwarf. She has some strawberry blonde hair back in a ponytail. Just as often as a ponytail is just down on her shoulders, though. It keeps her from getting tangled when she's using her fists more than her smile, which she does a lot. She's tears the sleeves off of most of the tunics that she gets just because A, she wants to show off her guns, and B, She wants to have good access to the tattoo that houses her wildfire spirit that she can take out. It's a smiling coyote on her arm. Other than that, she's in leather armor. Tends to be the cook for the team a lot when they're out in the wilderness, but is once you get on her good side, you'll realize you really want to stay there.
There you go. The contents of the letter that you'd received as the Hallowed Matron detailed that you would meet an envoy at Castrogard, which was an old fort that had been repurposed as a way station in between Anver and Estad, almost pretty much dead center on the border between uh Koduria and Falskallan. But because the border surpasses surpasses on the one side, it is mainly on Koduria's side. You would know this because you have done trading, or your family's done trading between both Falskallan and Koduria. So you have been here once or twice. It's a lovely little place, but it's still about 3 days travel off.
Well, all right, everyone. Ready to rest up? Going to be a long hike ahead of us yet. Dolly, what's on the menu?
Well, for now, I think we're going to just start with the carrot and rabbit stew. It's going to be filling, but we'll get more as we move on.
All I need right now are carbs.
Fair enough. We'll add some potatoes.
You don't need any carbs, you need some protein. Protein is what we need.
We
I
can
appreciate
hunt on.
your. Oh, sorry.
No, go for it.
I appreciate you looking after our health there, Reed.
You can always hunt on the journey tomorrow.
More than just rabbits out there.
Bound to be. All right,
Huh.
now, show of hands. Who here needs a little bit of a primer on dealing with folk from Falskallan? Well, it's been a while since I've been there, but how often have y'all crossed the border?
Uh, so what do you mean, like we need a primer? I mean, it's just like, what do you mean?
Well, I mean, most folk in Falskallan are no different from folk anywhere else, really, but the people who run the show up there, they tend to be a little less rough and tumble than us. They like things done certain ways.
Hmm. Well, I don't think it's going to be much of an issue. I mean, we've gotten far in a lot of tough situations, so I think you just got to be a little bit more optimistic.
There is nothing wrong with a little diplomacy.
As long as you're carrying a big stick to enforce it, I'm down with that.
Right
A
here.
big stick of a good time. See, when you go on in with your guns blazing and all in your britches are all up your cooter and you're all you're gonna get trouble. It attracts trouble. So if you just go in with a smile and just think it's gonna be all right, and if it does come down to a rough and tumble situation, we'll just kick ass like we usually do. But don't start off with that. I mean,
Yeah, well, it's nice to know we've got the options. Just, Dolly, if they bring any guards along with them, maybe don't go talking about pork and bacon as often as you usually do, all right?
It was only 18 times.
Yesterday, yeah.
Well, I'm getting better when you ask and are watching.
I mean, you can say, pardon me, sorry. You can say to the ones we don't like as often as you want.
I think you just need a little bit more conversation pieces other than the meat of animals. Oh, you can talk about your tattoos. I love your tattoos.
Or we don't talk and just get the job done.
Well, Laura, you know I'm not that great at, like, just standing around and being quiet.
Sometimes that's the best way to handle these situations.
Oh, I mean, do you remember about the last 5 times we've tried something like that with me included? Oh, goodness gracious. Hey, but I was able to talk down that one governess. She was so sweet afterwards. I mean, just sweet as pie. After she beat us up a little bit, but it was like I said, a smile. Just smile, Warwick. You smile, don't you? Awesome.
Smiles and androgyny.
I see
Little-
you. I see it in your eyes. You're smizing. That's when you smile with your eyes. You're smizing, dear.
At this point, Warwick gets up and just walks away.
they like you, Yuri. Just not not in ways that present themselves obvious like.
Forever.
Oh, I'm not worried about it. I'll grow on them like a vine or a bad rash.
I mean, they're not mutually exclusive.
That's right. Mm-hmm. I think I have a pouch of some poison ivy right now. Somewhere.
Well, save
So
that
don't go.
for
Yeah, don't go digging around. Huh?
yeah, save it for Tobias and whatever he's got planned. I don't know why they want us going after an asset when he's involved.
I mean, with as disorganized as the entire group of Falskallan sounds, I'm not surprised if they need help actually doing something.
Yeah, well,
With a time
but
limit, at least.
maybe. Maybe they just need someone to take care of a problem that can't be traced back to them.
Not a bad point.
Yeah. It's a good place, Falscala. Nice folk. When Diamondback and I were up there, we made the town circuit pretty often. Busking, grifting, sometimes both at the same time. But, hell, it ain't home.
It ain't home. Well, how do you feel about all this, Shy? You know, coming back and seeing Diamondback?
Well, be nice to reconnect. Hope he's doing all right these days. I haven't heard anything of him doing otherwise.
Well, sometimes no news is good news.
Here's hoping. More worried about trying to work this for us in some way. I mean, getting a chance to go after Tobias direct. That'd be a pretty big move for the revolution and all. and being able to do it somewhere outside of Falscala, or rather outside of Koduria, it could have some implications, but it also could mean we get a little bit of help in shifting things around for us here.
Mm.
Leastwise, that's how I want it to work. They want to make a deal with us, they got to give us something in return.
That's right. I love me some new goodies.
I was thinking a little bigger than that, Erie, but I like where your head's at.
My head's always in the clouds and thinking about going onward, upward and onward.
Sweetie, I think sometimes those clouds are smoke.
Yeah, that was an accident, actually.
Ah,
All right, well,
Yeah, yep, too much powder.
all right, well, you all eat up. Go check on Warwick. As
Make
Listen
a-
makes like
Lord wants to be spoken to right now.
That was such great time. Just like get up,
Right?
leave.
Fuck this shit, I'm out.
And I just realized it.
Just I'm gonna go check on Warwick. No, you're not.
Sorry.
Check out Warwick. The hell you are.
It's like make an investigation check. You don't find them.
You.
Did you want to find them? No. It's at this point Warwick is they're off just scanning the tree line. Even though it's kind of pitch black right now, the way the moon is reflecting off the snow, you can see the glimmering shapes of the roaming hills and possible silhouettes. With that 14 that you rolled there, Work, you're just casually looking. You're not exactly looking for anything serious. At that point, think you see a couple shapes off in the distance. They look more or less like reindeer. Probably a couple herds that came down from the mountains. But honestly, nothing of too much concern as far as you can see. It's at this point Shiren comes up beside you.
All quiet on the. What direction is this southern front?
Seems like it at the moment. I mean, we cause a lot of noise. Not the biggest fan of traveling in a pack, as you know.
I know. Grateful to have you with me, though.
I'm
How
grateful
you
you're
holding up?
here too, otherwise I wouldn't be here.
Well, how you holding up, partner?
Other than slightly annoyed at times, I'm good.
Yeah.
I got you by my side.
Yeah, you know Erie means well, right?
I know, she's just loud.
Yeah. Everybody's loud compared to you, even when I whisper.
You hear a little boom in the background. Boom.
Sorry.
Yeah.
And this is why we have a hard time catching game.
Well, yeah. You telling me you couldn't plug one of those just now?
Oh, you know, if I wanted to, I could have.
Oh, yeah. How do you want to play things when we get where we're going? I mean, I have to be, Little Miss Talkie Talkie. But wouldn't mind having most around. What would you like to do?
I'll be by your side if you need me, but you know I'll be quiet.
That's
You
all
know
good.
I'll pay attention and listen more than talk.
Sometimes that works. Remember that time we were going out to that bathhouse and clerk misplaced our reservation. I kept on talking to him the whole time and being sweet and everything, and that death glare of yours, I'm pretty sure, did more work than any amount of words I had. I don't even think you were that angry about it.
Probably not. I feel like most people just see the silence and the dead stare and assume it's the killer's stare, but when I get focused, it's a completely different look.
There are worse resting faces to have.
Hmm.
Mm.
How are
You
you
want?
holding up? Are you looking forward to seeing Diamondback again?
We don't even know if it's going to be like that. I mean, he could be anywhere in that country for all we know.
You
Excuse me.
Come
Echoes in the
on.
background.
Yeah. You okay back there?
We finally made your burps canon.
Yeah, I'm good. Woo, that food is good. I'm as full as a tick.
Yeah. I mean, look, he and I both decided to break it off. I don't want to put anything on him again if we do find him. I think he'd like what we're doing down here, and sure as hell wouldn't mind having him in, tow. He's always better at doing the yammering on. I was always better at picking pockets.
You were a good team. I remember seeing you both work together.
Yeah. I ain't counting on anything yet. Hopes, thoughts, maybe the odd mild annoyance. Same shit, different day.
Same shit, different day.
Just kind of pats you on the shoulder and heads back towards the others.
I'll walk over as well.
Mm.
All right. Any other role play to have before I start moving this forward? All right, we're gonna get what is it? Valister reading shipping going on now.
Oh my god.
Don't do it. Do it.
I'm coming for that heart, Warwick.
Yuri would be a matchmaker.
Yeah, she would.
It's
Or
like,
to have none
I
of it.
make connections with food.
Say, I heard a little birdie tell me you like this person. It's just Duffy just in your window.
Sorry, my dog's
Ah.
Little like zzz, as the eyes zoom in.
Yeah, my little steampunk owl.
Oh my god. All right. Who's taking watch?
I will.
Warwick.
So Dolly and Warwick. All right. So then I would like you guys to make perception checks, please.
Dirty 20.
What'd you get there, Dolly? You're muted.
I swear I just unmuted. Anyway, 18.
Again, the night is very cold. The fire is much inviting. You do a little patrol. Both of you do patrols around the outskirts of the encampment area. The tents are put up and everything is settled in for a nice, cozy, semi-cozy night in the cold. But it's nothing that you guys have never dealt with before. It is a beautiful, clear sky. And seeing the breath come out, just these nice white steam clouds just immediately dissipating in front of you as they reach forward. With that, it's a fairly quiet night, and it seems like it's going to be this way the rest of the night. With that, your watch comes to an end. Whomst else?
So Shiren only needs to meditate for 4 hours, so she'll kind of, once that's up, get up and take watch.
Yeah. I kind of figured Dolly and Morg would probably do like split shifting, so at that point it would be 4 hours in. If Sharon wants to take the rest of it, make a perception check, and
Yeah. Let's see, what's that? That was pretty good. 16.
16?
Yep.
Beautiful. Again, you're just kind of sitting there contemplating, trying to figure out strategies, plans, ways to play with the upper Kodurian houses. See if you can play them against each other. But out of that's too far away right now. You're enjoying the quiet, the serenity of it all in a weird way. It's at this point you look up, just up at the night sky. You see what would be a nebula, just kind of sitting there reflecting the suns and all the stars that blanketed the sky. You swear for just a second, you see just a small streak just shoot right across. Make a dexterity saving throw. No.
Fuck! Meteors fall, everyone dies.
It's like, you thought this was a revolt? No.
30
Welcome
miles
to
away,
Independence Day.
Howard
Yeah.
is like, oh, that was not where I meant to throw that.
All right.
Your night goes without a hitch. The sun rises. You see the beautiful orange and pink glares starting to come through the cloud tops that it just kind of came throughout the night. It seems to be it's going to be a rather windy day, but that being said, you pack up, have your food, and you start off. I would like for you guys to make a percentage, one of you guys to make a percentile roll, please.
Ooh.
Yeah. Sorry, Juju, did you roll that one? Or
No, I said who do? Who
sorry.
doing it?
I
Don't
got
look like you're preparing.
it. 37.
Jesus Christ. Oh, wait for a second. I thought that was a roll. Oh. I thought that was just a normal roll. It's like
That's going to happen when I roll sleight of hand and you see what BS magic items I gave myself.
Wonderful.
that I was just kind of distracted. Just one second. There we go. Okay, so you guys start walking along. And judging from how long you've been on the road, which has been about a week, you're probably about 2 days left. And for the sake of fast tracking this, if there's any sort of roleplay that you would like, just let me know. But you guys do end up on a snowstorm. It comes in, squalls The squall's coming from the south, probably because of the sea and the way the winds like to come up from the Arctic. It's at that point that you probably best hunker down, but I'm not making that choice for y'all.
Right. Warwick, you see anywhere we could, I don't know, shelter up from this shit?
Probably under a tree. See if we can find some coverage. Do you want me to roll to see if I see anything?
I thought you were gonna, yeah, make a perception check
Sure.
at disadvantage because this is blowing snow.
Okay.
Visibility isn't exactly clean.
Well, that's an 18.
It's 18. Damn. You look around the tree lines and to see if there's anything large enough, and the rolling hills don't really provide really good cover. That being said, you were able to find a good thatch of pine trees that have kind of grown into each other rather closely, so you could utilize this a bit better, especially with a couple of tents that are used more like tarps.
Direct us over that way.
That's nice. Shiren makes sure everybody else gets in before she takes shelter.
Hmm. Right on. Uh, about 6 hours go by before the snow stops. And you guys emerge from your little igloo that inadvertently had to happen.
How much snow are we dealing with now?
You've got about a foot and a half of snow. Dastardly. It was a dastardly nor'easter, is what it was.
Oh, yes, boy.
Although that is not nearly enough snow for a nor'easter.
Starting to worry if we were going to lose some of our shorter people.
At that point, it just becomes a Bugs Bunny cartoon. Just
The only thing above snow is Reedon's greatsword.
Yeah. This has unfortunately taken it's another 6 hours off your trip. You will find camp. But eventually, after another day and a half of traveling, you do end up at Castrogard. You walk over you walk over the pathway step by step. Again, everything seemingly rolling into themselves, almost kind of like this place was manicured, or at least this section was more or less manicured to look this way. And over second, yeah, over the hill, you notice a couple of spires poking up, and you realize that you're there. It's on top of a hill in the middle of what looks to be a lake is a castle that has been heavily fortified and looks like it was ready for war. And almost looks like it has been, but you see the patchworks and repairs of, well, repair over the years. A lot of the battlements look to be disarmed and much more friendlier looking. The gate over the drawbridge is up, or sorry, the gate is up. The drawbridge is down, and you notice that there are some patrols walking on the battlements themselves. The walls stand about 20 foot tall. It is very much elven designed with more slick architecture, not more uh hard curved or hard lines like any sort of dwarven nature. you walk into the courtyard, and it looks to be. Hold on one second. I actually have a description of this. Of
Mm.
course, it's not where I've put it. There we go. What looks to be about a triple layered castle system where you're walking into a courtyard system that has stables and houses meant for travelers and caravans that come on through. But you also hear the work of smiths and like the smiths, the forges, uh, people working the carpentry as well. It is a fully functioning little town in this little fort. There's a main house that is used as a tavern and also as an inn for people who want to travel on the cheap and keep more of a social culture to themselves. Uh, a lot of the main fort is up on top of the highest peak of this hill. That there's only one main road or one main set of stairs, or I guess I can't words. I was having a hard time. I'm getting back into this. There's a main pathway that leads up into the main peak, which is where a lot of the commanders and a lot of the people who run more or less the military part of this fort would be. That being said, the guards are more or less laid back and more friendlier in nature. Although you do get the sense that like it is Kodurian, you get the reds, the deep reds and the yellow accenting that come through in their wares. But you're here. This place is absolutely large. And where would you like to go?
So where did our contacts say they would meet us?
They said at Castergard. They didn't really specify where.
Mm, all right. And do we know who we're looking for?
That wasn't also specified either.
Yeah. All right. Well, anyone for a drink?
I mean, I certainly won't say no.
All right. Well,
If we don't know who we're looking for, we'll make sure they know who they're looking for.
not too loudly now. Best
We're going.
behavior. Uh, that being said, Warwick, keep an eye out. Val, Erie, keep those winning smiles ready. And Dolly, Reedon, get ready to do what you do when the best laid plans of mice and elves go to shit.
Oh, I'm gonna be ready.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, so ready.
She gives a big old smile, her fangs and her dimples. Oh, I'm so excited.
You know we never start a fight we can't finish.
Oh, I know. That's why I'm afraid of, but it's also why I brought you along.
You guys
Well,
walk up to a three-story building. Sorry, I cut you off there.
I don't. Come on was the finisher.
Yeah. Oh, cool. So I got the hint too. I get social.
You and me, like this, man.
We cross swords for life.
Hell yeah.
you you come up to a three-story building that is very much like a classic English tavern, where you have wood beams that have been stuccoed with stucco that have been stuccoed and that have been stuccoed. You see these nice large doors that stand about 8.5 feet tall, and they move effortlessly, swinging one way and swinging the other. The snow that had just been dropped has already been moved away, and what you've already hear and smell is amazing food, and there seems to be a bit of a route going on inside. You don't know what exactly you're walking into. You push the doors open, and all you hear is, ho. You see just a congregation of people around a set of tables. You're not exactly sure what's going on. It's at this point you see like a couple of people just kind of like, as you're stepping through, a couple people push past all of you and running right in. It's like, I can't believe they're doing this again. Awesome, let's go.
What is going on? Can we go? Sharon, can we go and see?
I think we better.
Yeah, the more you get into
I
this
hope they're
building,
fighting.
the more you get into this building, you notice that there is a full-on bar pretty much standing straight in front of you that makes more or less an L shape. And in behind this bar, you see like tons of casks of different styles of ales that have been well supplied throughout the histories of Koduria. But there's a kitchen out the backside. You just hear, yes, chef. With patrons all along the lines of this bar top, just kind of half sitting, half standing, drink in hand, turned around, looking at the commotion, just kind of sitting back, watching, shaking their head, taking a sip. And across you start taking your gaze across the rest of the dining area. It is massive, where there's a lot more like communal tables that have been set together, like long trench bench style tables that can easily sit between 4 to 6 to 8 to 12, just various sizes. There seems to be a secluded back section that had been walled off with more or less glass, and there's somebody on the piano, although you can't hear exactly what's going on given the rowdiness of this. There's a set of stairs that are right beside you, right at the entrance, and there's also another set of stairs over on the other side where the secluded patrons are. That being the case, you walk right in, and as soon as you get closer to the route, you see two men. Like, these are absolute units of people, where even sitting down, they're as tall as Yiri. And two of them are just sitting end to end on one of these tables, arms locked into each other. It looks like a good old arm wrestle.
Now that's what I was talking about. Who's the winner in this one, boys?
You see one of the men, just long gray, like slicked back hair, very long beard, salt and pepper, but very much more salt right where the goatee is. And his shirt is off. You see it's just rippling muscle just going right down. And he seems like he's struggling just a little bit, but you see in the other hand, a tankard of ale just sitting there just while the other one looks to be a Goliath. Bald in stature, couple of clan tattoos that have been etched into the forehead that start at a peak and kind of make like this lightning swirl. It's hard to tell. It's kind of a hash and mess of everything. You kind of get the point that they may not have an artist in that where he had come from. But still, standing just as tall as this human is still, again, ripped muscles right down the line. You see adorning fur, like a fur vest that goes right down and follows all the way down to the floor. It's almost like a moo. And they're just going back and forth. And this guy doesn't look like he's having any trouble whatsoever. And you just hear, oh, yeah, let's go. Okay, we're rolling for this. And it's at this point, you see the Goliath just edge a little bit down, and everybody's like, oh, God. You see bets are being placed on the tables left and right. One of the patrons knocks into you. So, did you just get in here?
Yeah, just a
Oh, man.
regular thing.
No, it isn't. That's the thing.
There's a whole lot of testosterone all around. It's exciting.
Oh, man, we haven't had one of these in a while. Yeah. Fenrir hasn't come down in a while, so now we're excited to see him take on the Commandant again.
Commandant. You the human or the Goliath?
The Commandant's a human.
Hmm.
Well, you haven't been here before?
Not too often. No, I don't get out much.
Yeah, oh, man. Well, just wait, just 1 second. And at this point, you start hearing other people just going, oh, we're going for it again. And you just see the pulsing in both their arms, the back. Everything is just absolutely strained. You see veins coming straight out of the human. And he's like, get, starts pulling it right down. So now we were looking at about even at this point.
Well,
Commandant Arzan is a wild person, as you see like another person come up. He looks over at Yuri. You're kind of pretty. You see like this short human, very scrawny in nature, short cropped hair, very bad attempt at facial hair. Clearly hasn't grown in just yet. It looks to be well into his cups.
Oh, well, shucks. You better stop. And she, like, does a playful pushing. Oh.
As you do the playful push, he kind of just
Whoops. And then she just steps over him just to keep looking around.
for those who want to make perception checks, by all means.
all right.
Absolutely.
I kind of just took everything with my energy. I needed to get back into this. Let's go! Woo!
Yeah, perskip.
Drinking that pickle juice. Drinking that pickle juice is giving me the power. All right.
Prescription.
So,
Alright.
well, we'll start with Warwick because I know they were definitely not partaking in the camaraderie.
No. 24.
24. Right on. Dolly.
18.
18. Yuri.
18. I guess this is the lucky number of the day. Like, a lot of 18s.
Val.
27.
Reedon.
I feel as though Reedon would be too involved with the arm wrestle
You
to actually be.
You can still make a perception check on the arm wrestle.
Yeah.
Okay.
How much muscle he have.
It's like, check out those deltoids. Gotta get that pump, man.
Perception is 15.
15. Cool. And last but not least, Shiren.
22.
22. Right on. So, Val and Shiren, you're, as much as you're getting hyped up into this kind of momentum, you are looking around and you're trying to see if there's anybody who's kind of spotting you guys in particular that just kind of came in. You're seeing people stare, but you're having a hard time determining whether or not it's at you guys at this point.
Mm.
Thank God I have this reference sheet because I would not have remembered the names. Reedon, you're looking at both these contestants, and yeah, you see like you realize that there are beads of sweat that are on here, but you notice on the table that there's actually kind of pools of sweat. They feel like they've been at this for like a couple minutes now. It's not like a route one and done. It's like back and forth. It is a pure. It is a test of strength as it is endurance, which is far more impressive when you see how large these guys are.
Oh boy, I need to find out what their regimen is. Gotta copy it. Gotta master it. Gotta get better. Bigger.
I just kind of pat Reedon on the shoulder. All right, Reedon, you have fun. Dolly,
Yeah,
keep at it.
just holler if you need me. I'll come swinging.
Will do. Dolly, keep them out of trouble. Turns to Val, keep them out of trouble.
I'll do what I can. As long as I'm not preoccupied myself.
Well, again, if y'all want to, I don't know, get us some funding going by arm wrestling each other, by all means.
You do notice that there are people like making bets on the side, and there's kind of a pool, like a betting pool for the contestants themselves. But you have been approached about making bets if you wish to do so. Say, speak now, or forever hold your peace. All right.
No.
So you see, at this point, you see Fenril, the Goliath, that just had his arm raised back to center, just go, "Why don't you just give up?" Ah! And he starts bringing Arzan's arm down. Everybody's going, "Oh!" Which, then you see one kid at the table just like eyes just peeking up. But then the mother just comes in, grabs him, pulls him away. He's like, "Don't get too close." Again, everybody's getting right into this. Fenril, "I'm doing it. I'm going to get you down." And at this point, you see Fenril's arm starting to move the commandant's arm further down. At this point, Arzan is looking at a bit of desperation, and finally, you see at this point, Arzan's like, "No, you don't!" Boom! Throws the arm over onto the other side. You hear the guards, you hear the people cheering, and at this point, you see Fenril. He flew off the other side of the table, rolling into the other bar rail or the half wall that holds a lot of the other bar patrons. You see people move quickly out of the way, just land with a thud, and it's just kind of like dazed and confused for a second. At that point, Arzan, the commandant, stands up. This is a mountain of a man, easily standing 8 feet tall, and you think this got to be a Goliath. It's like, no, he looks human.
Lean over to Warwick. Note to self, do not engage in close combat.
He stands up, puts his arms up, and immediately hits the ceiling. Just it grabs 2 tankards of ale, just throws them up. It tries to drink them, but it more or less just.
No one wins like Gaston.
Just does the flash dance.
Oh my god.
With that, a bunch of people start dispersing. Prize pools are doled out. You see the commandant go, "All right, next round's on me," and everybody just starts going wild and rushing right to the bar. You see the barmaid just going, "Oh god!" It's freaking out. At that point, everything starts clearing out a bit, and people going back to their cliques.
All right.
Th-
Well,
There's an open table to fit you 6.
Right on
Shall we?
in there.
Duffy, go sit on that table so no one takes it. Go.
The sticky one.
Well, with just a little, I got the unstick stuff. The one that smells like oranges.
all right. You wipe it down. I'll go to the bar, get us some drinks, and
Mm-hmm.
see if I can't get an eye on our suitor here.
Can you check if they have apple cider
I'll check if they have apple cider. Any other requests?
and biscuits?
Damn biscuits.
Thanks, Shy. You're the best.
Thank you. I don't know about the best, but I'm pretty damn close. Reading. Sorry, I didn't catch you.
Chicken leg. Some protein, meat.
For you, honey, getting the whole chicken. You're gonna need it.
Oh, you're the best, Sharon.
All right, going once, going twice. Everybody else fine with lager? Fantastic. Okay.
You head up to the bar rail at this point. You're making your orders. I'd like for you guys to make another perception check now that things have calmed down.
Yeah, I was just about to ask her. Look around.
That's better. Because I remembered okay.
It's okay. I got a 9. I'm cleaning that table. I'm serious about it.
Yeah.
You're so serious about it that you start doing the gum underneath.
Yeah. Oh, this could be good to try this new remover on.
Find spell components on.
Starts touching up the finish in places.
Some tough gum. I might need to get some of this acid. Little drops of this.
That's just rust, honey.
It's 17 from Shiren.
Alrighty. So 17 from Shiren. Alright, so Dolly.
15.
Work.
12.
Dire Bear Virginia Company. Sorry, Valisar.
26.
Ooh.
My God.
Damn.
Reading.
7.
7.
Read it and weep.
And you got a 9, Yuri.
Yeah.
So at that point, you're just like heavily dedicated to wiping the table. Shiren, you're coming back with a bunch of ale, like 6 tankards of ale. They're all a brown lager. You haven't had a taste yet, but you also, on your other hand, have looks to be 6 plates of full on boar meat.
Yeah, didn't have chicken. How's about some pig?
Now, the boar was the special of the night. It seemed like there was a successful hunt, and looked like they killed a good grouping of them.
Ooh, that's even better. Thank you, Shiren. This is gonna make me big and strong like those other guys.
Well, you're already strong, little king. Don't worry about big.
Well, one day I'll get up to them, and I'll just pat them on the face delicately.
Are you gonna do it, mister? I'm gonna try.
I look forward to seeing that.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I can make like extendable boots where you put them on and they're like supreme platforms. It might be good for like going over walls. Oh, Warwick, I can make you a pair. You could just get on the roofs. They're not listening to me.
No, I think it's a great idea. I don't know why they're not, jumping at this. Pun intended.
I think it's a great idea. I mean, imagine you're walking normally, normal height, and you're against these bad guys, and they're like, "Well, hey there, little squirt, you're done for," and I'll be like, "No, I'm not," and pick on somebody your own size, and then all of a sudden I extend 7 feet up into the air on my shoes. They'll be so scared. No, that's stupid. Never mind.
I mean, it could stand some workshopping maybe, but I think the idea itself is sound.
Oh, yeah, I'll keep working on it. Maybe extendo pants. No.
Hey, you chose us, man.
I didn't. You. The player distribution system found me.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was just like, I'm not looking for a summon. I want to play D&D. Great. Now I have to adopt you.
Will you be my DM?
Sure. Are you horny? No. Lies.
Do you want to build a campaign?
Oh, man. I forgot how much I've missed you guys, and how much I hate this. It's both endearing and enduring.
No, that's Garnet.
Mm,
Okay.
wait, boo. 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 You guys end up having the nice meal. It is fairly delicious. The boar is fresh. It is very fresh. And same with the ale. It is a nice crisp lager. Nice amber aftertaste. It's quite refreshing actually. In regard. At this point, you're looking around, you don't see anything that might look like an envoy or anything officially Falskallan.
Hmm.
All right,
So,
well,
anybody see anything unusual and all that? I mean, apparently that was some sort of big event. I mean, it was exciting, but it wasn't anything outrageous.
Outside of the size of that human? He
Wait,
was a
that was a human?
That was a
tall cup of
human?
coffee, eh?
Hmm.
See, there's still hope for me. Even I'm a gnome and I can get that tall. I'm sure of it.
Well, maybe with a stretching tool or something.
That's what I'm talking about. I'll work on it.
yeah.
I
Might
think
be a
Well,
those
potion
are
for it.
torture devices at some places.
You
Yeah,
can't make an omelet without cracking some eggs.
I mean,
or I
as
can
long as
just figure out a potion. Oh, go ahead, Sharon. Sorry, I can't. There's
oh
so
no,
much noise going out.
it's
I'm
all
off.
good. Honey, you never have to apologize for interrupting me. God knows I could use it. I was going to say, I mean, where torture devices are concerned, hey, look, as long as all parties involved are consenting adults, then you do you. But yeah,
You guys
yeah,
finish a round of ales and you see barmaid, human woman, very unassuming, just kind of very plain and rounded facial features, a nice button nose and very cute chestnut eyes. A couple pigtails coming out of the side, just going around, just coming in. Oh, I'll just take that. Just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Same for all y'all.
Uh, yeah. This round for the table's on me.
All right. Beautiful. Well, I think the commandant's prize pool is going to serve the rest of the night. Let's be honest. He doesn't really like to take the gold himself. He just likes to prove that he can win every time somebody wants to try and fight him.
Well, no complaints here then. Seems that was a bit of a quite fancy to do that. Goliath in from out of town.
Oh yeah, he's our hunter. He likes to go out and he could stay out for months at a time, but he also goes to other places as well, right?
Oh, whereabouts?
Whereabouts? Oh, north. That's what them clans folk do. They like to go back up to their mountains and deal with their clans in one way or another. So every time he comes around, him and the commandant usually go for around, especially if it's a successful hunt.
Yeah, well, I imagine he's the one to thank for this boar.
Oh, for sure. Like I said, like I told you before, he killed the whole squad of them at that point. He pulled 20 corpses along himself. No sled, just strung them all up, and he just kind of walked with them.
That's a tall drink of water.
There was
Now,
that's a very tall drink of water. The fact that he did it so quickly too.
Whew.
Whew, my britches.
Gracious me. Now, it seems like a bit of a. I don't want to use slang that's out of date, but bumping place around here. Anybody else come in from out of town recently?
I mean, half the people in here are from out of town. They usually going in between Anver and Estad and a couple small towns that are along the way. But at that point, I normally don't inquire unless they tell. People like to keep to their own businesses.
Yeah, certainly
Sometimes we get
fair.
the royal dignitaries, but
Mm-hmm.
that's they usually stay at the fancier part of the tavern, or maybe if they feel like it, they'll go to their own royal guard up closer to the military for protection. You never know.
Oh yeah, no, I hear there's bandits about these days, getting more and more by the day.
Eh, banditry seems to have gone down, but that's a personal opinion. I'm not too sure myself. Anyway, I digress. I have all these ales that I have to catch you, so give me 1 second. I'll be right back.
Thank you kindly.
And she walks right off. She walks right off and kind of just disappears into a little bit of the crowd in the bar thoroughfare.
All right, team, what are we thinking?
I think I could take him. Enough fight
Which one?
of the winners, surely.
All right. Well, again, you want to put your medal to it, I ain't saying no. Plus, I don't know if it gives us a chance to get an eye on the commandant of this place. Might be worth engaging him a bit.
And Dolly, I do have a potion of hill giant strength if you're curious about it.
I mean, who am I to say if you... That is... Excuse me.
You drank too much, honey. You did it again. Why do you do that when you get all tipsy?
Personally, it's just choking on my own spit.
Oh Lord, she coming. I just saw your name.
Who am I to say if a well-intentioned friend spikes my drink?
Oh yeah, that would be so unfortunate. For sure. She just pops it out and then grabs the cork and with her fangs and clunk, turns her head like, oh no. Also grabs Dolly's head to turn her head. Oh, how unfortunate. Oh.
During all this, I'm casting Enhance Ability to give myself bull strength.
Oh my god!
Jesus.
Oh my lord.
Well, Potion of Hill Giant. For 1 hour, your strength is up to 21.
Nice.
Okay.
Enjoy.
Warwick's looking around to make sure no one's watching them as this happens.
I mean, from your previous pardon me there. From your previous perception check, you are observant by nature. I'm not too sure if you actually chose that feat, but that with your previous role, you were able to just kind of perceive the crowd. It seems like there's a lot of people that are just kind of keeping to themselves. There's a couple of rowdy people out in the backside. Like you get the like the cliques of people. They're all own different personalities that get into them, but generally they're keeping to themselves. And there are people who will generally kind of make eye contact with you and a bit of your group. But then it just seems more or less just either I'm kind of curious, and then kind of go off on their own. Nothing too staring daggers at you. Generally, it seems to be just a well-natured a well-natured tavern.
And where's the Commandant in all of this?
The commandant, he seems to be in the off section right now, kind of surrounded by a couple of military-esque men, and still he stands a good 2 to 3 heads taller than the rest of the people that are there. But his demeanor isn't one of like extreme like machismo. It's just a definitely calm, reserved person looking is seemingly looking over a bunch of papers while having a giant having his personal tankard, which is basically triple the size of the other tankards that are here. That's that is what you currently see. Yeah, Fenrir the Goliath has definitely gotten up and kind of not stormed off. He more or less just kind of got up and licked his wounds and kind of said, "Okay, that might be it for tonight," and kind of walked off.
Well,
Where is he at now?
The Goliath?
Yeah. Like
He walked up the set of stairs, and you kind of guess that okay, this is probably where the rooms are.
Hmm.
At this point, you see the waitress come back. All right, amber ale for you, amber ale for you, amber ale for you, amber ale for you. Ma'am, that is a tongue twister. Okay, it's amber ale for you and an amber ale for you. And it's under this one. Yeah, it's at this point you notice that there are napkins underneath each of these tankards that they weren't before.
Hmm. Oh well, thank you for the napkins, dear. We do get a bit spilly sometimes.
Oh, it's not for the spillies. It's to make sure that you keep yourself clean regardless.
Well, much obliged.
Of course, dear. And she turns around, walks off, starts waiting other tables.
Hmm. I'm taking a look at that napkin.
To be.
Well, takes a nice swig. Y'all will excuse me for a moment. Well, unless you want to come with, I think we know where our friend is. Don't leave the napkins on the table.
You guys look
What?
at the rest of your napkins. It's only on Chiron's.
Right.
Warwick's following Chiron.
Yeah. You guys get up. As you do, you see walking through the set of swinging doors. You see an elven man wearing what looks to be a royal cloak over one shoulder, very plain leather armor. You see a couple of daggers holstered on his hip, a nice long rapier. Nice long rapier. And when I say royal, I mean Kodurian.
Hmm.
I have to make the dissertation now is going to be driving me nuts, but it's okay. It's seemingly very subtle at this point. Like there's uh, a long brimmed hat that is adorned with him. He takes it off, just kind of shakes everything out, and what you see, he's carrying a satchel with him, a very like a hefty satchel. He kind of walks right past you guys and goes up to the bar, orders an ale. It's at this point you guys go straight up.
Yep. Although noting the fellow with the royal stuff, I'm just gonna try and give a very subtle sign over to Warwick to basically be like, keep an eye on that one.
Actually, you would know this to be a royal courier, actually,
Ah, okay.
because you being a part of the houses, you know what the couriers would look like, and these guys are well respected.
Nice. Actually, in that case, want to have a little look at what he's got in his carrying case. So, as
Which
I
one are you
am in
going
our,
for? Which one are you going first? Are you doing the stairs, or are you going for the courier?
gonna do the stairs first and get business taken care of, and hope that courier's still down there when we're done.
Yeah. And now who's following? Who's following? Shiren.
How much of a distraction you need?
Not much of one just yet, but I wouldn't mind some eyes down here.
I'll do that.
Okay. So just so I know that who's going up, so it is Shiren and Warwick going up. Who else? That's it.
Keeping an eye down here.
Sounds
Cool.
like
So the rest of you guys stay down, and I'm only going to start with this just as a like, are you staring directly at this courier? Are you looking at? Are you like staring daggers? What are you doing? What is the subtlety that you're trying to do here?
for me or for.
For anybody who's down, not going up,
Oh
not
yeah,
going up
well,
into.
I'm looking very not subtly at the commandant.
Yeah.
And I am like grasping Dolly's bicep and be like, "Oh, you are so strong. I bet you could sweep the floor with them." Just
So
trying to like loudly just to get the attention.
So you're trying to grab the attention of people around you, and especially the commandant.
Mm-hmm. And when she gets, if the commandant ends up looking her way, she's gonna give like a wink to the commandant.
Okay. With this, make a performance check.
Nice. Performance. Okay. 13 plus 17.
17. Okay.
Mhm.
Where you guys are sitting versus where everybody else is, or where the commandant is, you're starting to make a ruckus, and you're starting to kind of show off Dolly's a massive biceps.
What is it? Massive biceps.
Val is sweeping the crowd periodically with the eyeballs, but
Yeah.
also helping to play into this. Dolly, I don't think you can beat me.
You I'd put through the ground.
Prove it, dear.
How many times do I have to teach you this lesson, old man?
At least one more.
Alrighty. With that, let's roll for arm wrestling.
Sure.
I'm gonna say this. The way I like doing the arm wrestling is, yeah, you make your contested strength checks, but if the difference between the rolls is massive, it's counted as a double win for a person. And by massive, I usually put it between 7 and 8.
Hmm.
Kind of dependent on how I feel.
Mhm.
I like to keep it as ambiguous as Warwick over there. All right, roll for it. So at this point, I'm guessing Yuri, are you trying to garner a crowd?
Yeah, and I
That's
have I'm gonna cast thaumaturgy to brighten up our particular area.
Oh my lord! And so there's a chandelier that stands right above you. You're just like, ha! And you blow out the candles that are up there.
And they're the color purple.
Oh my lord! Alrighty. So with that, make your contested strength checks with your performance check earlier. I'll say that you're starting to actually draw a crowd. Like you're going around like these guys are going to go start arm wrestling. Maybe they'll take on the commandant, and just kind of putting the bug in the air, and people are kind of paying attention to it. And so, strength checks, go.
15.
19.
Cool. So, Dolly, easily, hands clasp right at the, right off the top. Yuri puts her hands over top, and go. And you just go, whoop, start tilting them right to the left-hand side. Some people are around going, okay, maybe there's something about this. Okay.
I'm
Roll
walking
again.
around like one of those girls that holds the round 2.
Ding, ding, ding.
Yeah, thaumaturgy uses the noises. She's pumping it up. Make it exciting.
Yeah, so roll it. What you got? What you got?
Oh, dear. Raya, honey, you're distracting. I only got a 10.
Oh, sorry, Shug.
11.
Val immediately starts coming back up, bringing it to center. People around you are like, oh, maybe this is another actual serious contender. Okay, let's see what's going on. And hush, the murmuring of the crowds are coming through. See, at this point now, I'm going to give you guys the options here. You can play this off as an actual contest for strength, or you could choose between one of you and start acting the part to really start selling like an actual hyping of a crowd. And that would be performance checks. I'll let you guys decide that, but I'm giving that option out there just so you know.
Let's see here.
I'm not going to do any performance. I'm going to get you into that dirt.
I'm just giving everybody big old smiles when they come up.
All right, roll for strength.
Let's make it extra interesting. With my free hand, I'm going to cast Bless on both of us.
Oh my goodness.
Remind me what Bless does.
Plus,
It's a D.
it's a
Ability
D4.
checks. Yeah.
D4 to ability checks. Is it
Oh, wait.
Is it ability or skill?
Attack rolls and saving throws. I'm thinking of guidance, which I could only do on one of us at a time. So never mind. Don't worry about it.
Okay, roll. Tell me what you get.
22.
23.
Wow.
You guys are having a blast just facing each other again. Dolly, you're pushing it, and at this point, people are noticing that no, this is actual strain. This is an actual arm wrestle. You guys are about you guys are like 12 seconds in now doing this again. Go, quick.
13.
Natural 20.
Oh,
Oh.
it's at this point, Dolly, you look Val straight in the eyes and say, "What do you say?"
Good night, Val.
Wait, sorry. Finish this. There you go.
Oh, yeah. It's been a pleasure.
You slam.
And he slowly picks himself back up.
He slowly picks himself back up. You see that there was like a decent amount of people watching just go, that was a good route. That was a really good route. You see a dwarven man just come up, like beard as long as him, going right to the floor. Thinking,
Yep.
look at you. I saw the way you were doing that. I want to try. Let's go. Let's do this.
Yeah,
Sits
out
up
of
onto the table. It goes to Dolly. Just, all right. No. Boom.
Adding to the dramatics, she like flings herself on Dolly's arms, like, "Wow, you're so, so strong."
God. It's at this point. Actually, Steve, give me 3 strength rolls. Tell me in the DM in succession, please.
Sure.
It's at this point. Shiren and Warwick.
All right. Well, 2B or not 2B, that is the question.
Or just shakes their head.
Oh, come on. That was funny.
It's at you walk up the stairs and you start hearing the rowdiness of the crowd going behind you. And the rowdiness of the crowd going in behind you, think, all right, perfect. This would be good. You walk up these sets of stairs and you see a very long and narrow hallway. There's a set of doors immediately to your immediately to your right. And it just says 1.
All right.
Keep on walking down, and it's this beautiful laid out setting, setting of floors. There's paintings up on the wall. They seem to be very generic in their own right, but sconces on the walls that have been lit and seemingly maintained. You see a maid kind of coming out and give you a quick nod. And she walks right past you. You walk into the second set of doors. 2.
All right. I'll look for 2B.
All right. So you push yourself in through these set of doors. And you see a row of rooms that are lining basically both sides. You kind of get that this is maybe more or less like not cabin bunking, but very modular in its own right.
Nice. Well, I'll find whichever one says B and knock very sweetly upon it.
Cool. You knock in. You knock. Don't hear a sound until just the sound of the lock just unlatching and the door open. Come in.
And hydrate.
Oh.
Who did that?
Uda.
Ooh, who there?
Uther, we thank you.
Thank you for that.
Pedialyte.
Electrolytes.
Yeah.
You see a hooded figure. Average height. A little bit, actually a little bit taller than average height. And you walk into this room and it's very basic and bare bones. You see a pack that's been recently put down on a set of chairs, and they're sitting on a chair just right beside their bed. It's very cramped in here by itself. It's very dormitory, where there's like a desk, a chair, and a bed, and a kind of a place to put your bag. There really isn't much else. You look, you see this hooded figure pull the hood back. And you see what looks to be this calico colored tabaxi standing in front of you. Very basic attire, very basic leathers standing in front of you, a rapier at the side. It is good that you came.
Well, somebody invites me to a party, I'm always down to attend. Appreciate the drinks. So
Not
what
a,
can we...
not a problem.
So, I'm Shiren Falair, a hallowed matron for all the good that title ever does me. You are?
Call me Dante.
Tante. All right. And this is Warwick. Talk in front of them as if you were talking in front of me alone.
Understood. It is a pleasure to see all of you guys here.
Well, we do like a good bust up. Sounds like the crew's doing a great job keeping things rowdy downstairs for us.
So that is the noise that I keep hearing now.
Well, we thought fewer prying ears the better.
That's
So,
pretty good, actually. I appreciate that. That being said, we're not being followed. We haven't had any attention drawn to us whatsoever.
that's good. So how are things going for you all over in Falskallan?
Oh, you will find out soon enough. At this point, I just needed to make sure that you all would come. It's always hard to tell at this point, right?
Well, we put our name to something, we mean to see it through. You got somebody needs springing?
Oh, for sure. They haven't been captured yet. So it's at one of these moments where I think you've already figured it out that we don't want our prints all over this.
Yeah, kind of figured that's why you were going for some foreign help, and I'm curious is what the hell do we get out of it?
That is not for me to tell you. And he pulls out a sealed document and hands it right to you.
I open.
You open it? All right, cool. You see requisition forms for vast different armaments and supplies.
Well, shit. You folks over there have one hell of a pocketbook.
That is up to my leaders. I am only the person bringing the message.
I show it to Warwick. What do you think?
Make investigation checks.
All right.
That's a good time to let you know we have a party boon.
What we get? Wait, sorry, you roll for it. What we
Okie
get?
dokie.
You know I don't roll for those.
A 16. Let me go check what it is. The next time you're reduced to 0 hit points, you're instead reduced to 1, which might be a good thing since we're stirring up the crowd.
Nice.
Bar fight. Woo!
Fight. Kiss, kiss, kiss.
Yep.
Okay, what'd you guys get?
It's a dirty 20 for me.
30, 20,
And a 24.
24. You're looking at the penmanship, And you've this is made by a steady hand. It doesn't look like there's anything amiss from any of the writing. Doesn't seem to be like any sort of hidden ink on it whatsoever or something of a binding contract. But from the scrawling and everything that is here and from how you're looking over the envoy, he everything seems to be very straight, true, and to the point. This is somebody to be this is somebody that presents himself as to be trusted and hasn't shown anything like that yet to not make you think that way.
Well, looks like everything's in order, and this certainly would give us one hell of an edge in our fight here. Well, supply more than my fill with this. But I gotta wonder, you investing in us or in this asset that we're rescuing who hasn't been captured yet?
A bit of both. We get the sense that the Viceroy is playing us. So at that point, we're playing them back.
Oh, believe me, partner. Tobias Akaith plays everybody. Doesn't play as well as he thinks, but the system's always been a bit rigged in his favor, if you follow me. And he likes to keep it that way.
Of course, power begets power. We all know how this goes. At that point, we want to take the rug from underneath him. And we figured, why not make the enemy of our enemy a friend?
Oh, I'm more than happy to be so.
Good. That is grand. At this point, we will be going back tomorrow, but you will be going back on your own. I'm going to be leaving as another moniker. As he steps back, you see him wave his hand, and his form changes right in front of you into what seems to be an unassuming farmer man.
That's a nifty little trick you got there, partner.
Well, thank you very much.
Even has the tinge. I like it. All right.
I'm good at what I do. She turns back. You may be seeing me, you may not. You may not recognize me. That's the point of what I do.
Well, as long as you find us when you need us, that's all I care about. I assume this is all points of the list to be delivered upon successful completion of the operation. What's your timeline like?
Timeline? Well, the asset has yet to be captured, so at this point, you would be kind of on retainer out in Enver.
Who is this asset anyway? Y'all seem very invested in them.
That is not to be discussed.
Fair enough.
Loose information that lays out in the winds can be caught by the eagle.
I'm gonna have to remember that one. And yet you're handing them over. You're sure you can keep them safe long enough for us to do what we gotta do?
For sure. We have our ways. I trust the system, do you?
Well, as a friend of mine used to say, on principle, I don't trust anybody gets paid any more money than I do, but y'all been above level so far, and you seem to have your shit in order, so that's good enough for me.
Mm-hmm. Or if you do see anything of the Kodurian royal procession on your ways, do us a favor and, well, how do you say it? Fuck it up.
Oh, I'd be more than happy to. Matter of fact, there's one of their couriers downstairs, and I got an eye on picking whatever's in their pocket. So,
Ooh, if that is the case, I'd love to see what is within that pocket themselves. If you could get me anything of worth, it
be
would go
more
a long way to
be more than
helping you
happy
guys
to.
out, to helping us out. And you know what? This would absolutely be a beneficial relationship.
I'll be more than happy to. With that being said, I'll get on down and get picking while the distraction's still going on.
Yes, do be careful about the couriers, though. They are very notorious.
That's okay, sweetheart. So am I.
Good. If that's his case, I should be seeing you. You won't be seeing me.
Wouldn't have it any other way.
It was a pleasure.
Likewise.
And he sits down and he kind of starts penning into what looks to be it kind of looks like a journal, but you're kind of unsure what exactly he's writing. At that point, you turn around, walk out.
Yep.
By the time you get back down, you see Dolly basically throw this dwarf across the room. And it was like, you see that there's a crowd that's rallied right around them, just going, oh, yeah, oh. And that was like it was the third time this dwarf came up to try and fight them. He just doesn't give up at this point. You see almost like the shoulder in a dislocated setting.
Nice. I'm gonna kind of push through the crowd a bit, like kind of hoot and holler a tad. Make my way towards the bar and see if I can find the courier.
Yeah, at this point, the courier. To the people who were downstairs, the courier kind of already walked off and walked out of the tavern itself. So at that point, if anybody wants to try and follow, by all means, take this opportunity to do so. Or if you wanted to just create the distraction, off you go.
Would we be able to get a bead on at least what direction they went?
Yeah. Oh, for sure. Like, how closely do you wish to follow? And are you trying to discern, like, how closely do you want to follow? Or are you just trying to find the direction and that's about it?
I'm committing to the bit. I'm still arm wrestling whoever comes and challenges.
Yeah, so for you, you're basically committing to the bit. You
Yeah.
can't exactly. You've got lookouts to do that. So Yuri, Reedon, Val, what you doing?
Knowing Shiren has her eyes on the courier, I'm gonna shoot her a message when they leave the building.
Oh, nice.
Cool. So then this would have happened pretty much right in the middle of the conversation with Dante.
Shiren, the courier is leaving. Do you want us to follow them?
One or two of you, yeah. Make it sneaky. Tell me where they're headed.
Perfect. So at this point, it's like, are you trying to be stealthy? Or are you just kind of, a couple patrons that just leave in around the same time as somebody else does? What's your distance? What's your game plan? You're gonna have to be a little descriptive for me here because I'm trying not to assume.
Hang on, I don't remember. Reedon, are you invested in the arm wrestling, or would you come with?
Oh, this is really good to watch, but I can't leave Shiren hanging. I'll come with you. Oh, this hurts so bad.
Then I'm gonna drop a bond on us before we leave. I know I'm not playing Howard. This was not on purpose. I learned a whole lot about Peace Domain real fast while I was picking spells.
Nice.
I just have both of these at all times because of Peace Domain.
He wants a piece of Reedon's pork chop! Oh!
Oh,
Who doesn't?
Yep. Oh, I love it.
Okay, so explain to me how this works.
Um,
When a man loves a woman.
for Val, probably just a touch to the tabard, bit of glow of the hand and the symbol, and then those of us at the table can communicate telepathically for the next hour.
Sweet. Okay, cool. So you guys then you
Make our
go
way
and you
out,
head
probably
out.
separately.
Yep. Val, you head out, and it is currently nighttime right now, and it's really pretty out actually. Just again, if it isn't snowing, it's generally cloudless sky, and the moon is out, and you see the light reflecting off the snow. You're trying to make out the silhouette of the courier, and you do. He seems to be heading towards the pathway that's heading up towards the main, like the main keep and the halls that keep a lot of the high-ranking military officials.
I will communicate that to the others while I try to keep a distance away and follow.
Yeah, and you do that easily. If you're gonna follow, how close?
Like a good 50 feet back.
Okay, cool. I mean, visual distance. I mean, you can see across a courtyard and whatnot. It's not hard. It's not like Metal Gear Solid security guard ranges of distance, pretty much. But no, this courier walks up to the base of the pathway, and the two guards that are standing there come to attention. Boom, hit the spears across their chest, and the courier starts walking right up.
Hmm.
And it's like this pathway is carved into a cliffside, so it follows it all the way up. And this goes up basically two sections of castle, which would be about 20 feet each. There are
Nothing,
buildings. There are buildings that line these cliff sides, and that have been built up and in, especially throughout the years.
but this pathway is kind of isolated.
This pathway is the main one, and it is very much like guarded. Seems like they don't want random people coming.
Yeah. Let's not try to start trouble when we're not here for it. I'll just kind of hang around within eyesight of the entrance and keep an eye to see if they come back out.
Okay. All right, you do that. There are a couple lit pyres within this courtyard section. It is quite large, so it's very well maintained and whatnot. So as soon as you start getting cozy up to one of the fires, you see one of the people that are there with you just being like, "Would you like a cider?"
Are they just a random person or like
Yes, this is just role play. No, you're gonna
like
get drugged.
do they look sus?
Roll. No.
Okay. Sure, I'll take cider.
You
What?
know, they're
Thank
just
you.
they're homely people. It's basic like farmer folk that are kind of just traveling through. They
Mhm.
seemingly just are enjoying the night as it is.
Yeah, I'll take it, thank them, give them a little guidance in return to have something in return.
Oh, we got ourselves a little cleric boy here. You head back into the tavern itself, and Dolly, you're basically 4 people in, and you're going strong. And so you're hyping the crowd up, and there's a decent crowd around you at this point. Uh, as you guys are coming down the set of stairs, Warwick, you eye that the commandant is looking at Dolly. As at this point, the crowd is still just really hyped and invested. And as soon as Dolly wins the second round with an elven man who seemingly doesn't look like he could hold his own against Dolly, is doing quite well, but still, you mop the floor with him. And then as soon as you do, everybody starts swarming you. Gold starts pouring onto the table. People are taking their cuts and whatnot from other tables that have been set out. And so, uh, yeah, there seems to be a little bit of a lull, and beers are coming out. Uh, Seemingly harder stuff has been put on the table. And Dolly, have you been drinking along with this or no?
Oh, absolutely, dear.
Here we go. I'm not even gonna make you make Constitution saving throws at this point. You two focused on the game.
Focused on the hustle, dear.
Exactly. So at that point, you're all Diamondback, Yuri, Dolly.
Diamondback.
You know what I meant.
Warwick will nudge Shiren and then kind of nod towards the commandant and then towards Dolly. Speaking without speaking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, thought that might catch some attention. All right. I want to go keep an eye on that courier. You mind keeping an eye on things here?
Not at all.
Thanks as always, partner. I'll, well, if there's trouble, you'll know.
Same over here. But I think they've got a good grip on it.
And here I thought you didn't have a sense of humor.
Only
Grip,
sometimes.
like physical grip.
I understand
And-
the reference.
Oh,
Just pats Warwick on the shoulder, and while the commotion is nice and big, Shiren slips out and starts heading the direction that Val would have said the courier was traveling in, and basically relying on Val to provide any other directional instruction from there.
You basically run into Val. He's having a nice conversation, a nice clerical conversation with these very decent and humble farm folk.
Yeah.
You walk right up, and he gives you the lowdown. Basically, yeah, he went up to looks to be the main keep. It's guarded.
Yeah, well, they usually are. I'll go scope it out a bit. Squirrel myself away, see if I can't catch the bastard on the way out.
Yeah. All right. So it's at that point we go back into the bar. Reedon, are you with Val or no?
Yes.
Okay. I just assumed it was just Val going out. My apologies. I didn't add you in on this.
We would have left separately anyway, so.
Yeah.
Reedon, you go the other direction. You don't see the courier whatsoever. You've been out there for about 20 minutes. What is your intelligence?
It's a rather personal question.
On a scale
no.
of 1 to 20.
It's a nice 10.
Better mine.
It's not a negative.
That's a pity.
You're going to be out there for a while.
You basically wait for about 20 minutes and you're like, oh, maybe I kind of missed the mark. You're stuck. At this point, it's a matter of pride, not logic.
Yep.
It's like, I made a mistake, but I'm not admitting to it. I'm staying out here just to prove a point to
Wait, aren't,
myself.
aren't Val and Reedon bonded?
Yeah.
So, like, we can talk.
Yeah. You're still staying out there because you're proving a point.
It's been 20 minutes, and then Reedon's finally like,
Wonder where Val is
in his head.
Which is funny because you don't know how to regulate your thoughts, even though you're bonded. So it's just been inner monologue the whole time.
Wonder how many push-ups that guy does. And I can beat him.
Which is
Wonder where
rather
Val is.
impressive. Which is rather impressive because Val has been having a full-on conversation while this second conversation has been in his head.
Maybe I
Sorry.
should go back and find Val.
But
Val
Rita
wouldn't
is
leave me out here.
used to so side note, Readin, I have pronouns as they them written. Is that still what you would prefer
Sure.
to
I will try to adhere to that as it was written.
You
Yes.
forgot, didn't you?
I kind of did when I started describing them. And I was
Yeah.
like,
Admittedly, like I wrote these like when I created the idea for these characters, I thought they were going to be NPCs that I'd be like controlling alongside Team Them, so I just sort of created a bunch of folks and threw it out there. That said, I know some NB folks with some rockin' stashes, so
Oh yeah, no.
Um,
Non-binary
but-
does not discriminate on beautiful stashes.
oh yeah. But yeah, like whatever pronouns the players are comfortable with, that is the kind of guiding star. So
Yeah. So they, them, he, him.
yeah, he, they.
What'd you call me?
A beautiful man.
Yeah, so Val, you go you finally make your way back and you basically see Shiren, Val, out by a fire, having a lovely chat with the people. Shiren definitely looking out and trying to scope the place a little bit better. You kind of get the point that this whole area is kind of set up as just like a common, like a not a commonwealth, but like just a commons area. All your basic necessities are here. You don't really need to venture elsewhere. Back inside the tavern, though. At this point, Dolly, you're deep into the drink, and you are definitely creating a ruckus where finally the big man commandant comes in.
Hello, sir. How can I help you today?
Judging from how everything is going here, I think you want to challenge me. And I think that's been your goal the whole night.
Well, the booze was a nice bonus at least.
You goddamn right it is. Well, you don't even know the reward of the challenge, do you?
That's a challenge?
Oh, of course. he puts a meaty hand on your shoulder. It is weird as hell for like a tall ass man to just kind of reach down and hit a dwarven shoulder, and his hand just basically wraps around full on meat claw. Just
My
What-
goodness, what are they feeding you?
Well, the choice cuts of meat, and by that I mean if somebody beats me, they're allowed to have dinner up in the commandant's area.
Oh my god.
I wouldn't say no to that.
Yeah. You get the choice cuts of meat, the fanciest wines. I like to make it a challenge because, I mean, I'd like to think of myself as a man of the people.
Well, I don't know. You look pretty tough, but sometimes the tougher they are, the harder they fall, or something like that. Anyway, if you're up for it,
Yeah, you know, and I quite am. But you know what? He looks over, he whistles at one of his guys. If you're gonna fight me, you're gonna fight me at my size. And you see what looks to be just like somebody in more of like a clerical robe comes in and down. Oh, we lost people.
Oh
Or
no.
everything shifted.
he's back.
Why did it shift?
Yeah, because Shiren went off camera and on camera.
Yeah, but it shouldn't have shifted
Uh-oh.
from that. It's okay. Just ignore everything.
Oh no.
Sorry about that. I think my connection crapped out on me.
Yeah, it did.
But
Everything shifted.
Yep.
But is
Um,
it the same?
Yeah, it's fixed. I just had to
Oh,
drag
cool.
them back in place.
Yeah.
Eerie of with that person coming up, she's gonna be like, "Whoa there! What are you gonna do to my friend Dolly here?"
Oh, we're gonna cast an enlargement on her.
Oh, honey, don't worry, I got it. Cast enlarge on Dolly.
So at this point, you see a tall dwarf, taller dwarven woman, which would stand at, I would think, maybe 6'5", 6'7".
Well, that sounds about right.
Yep.
Tall dwarf and handsome, eh?
Yeah, and what you see when she
Now.
casts is her gloves, her leather work gloves start to glitter and almost a flash of gem-like crystallization, and almost like spectral phantom tools fan out from her hands and then they disappear and it goes back to leather.
Nice.
Yeah, don't
Okay.
worry about it, honey. I got it covered. You worry about your own, all right? Thank you, though. That's so sweet of you. A lot of people don't even want to consider doing that. I like when they like to level the field, make it fair.
Well, I realize I'm a strong person, so it's not fun just walking over people. I don't like doing that. So,
Oh,
you all ready
hun,
for
don't
this,
look
Dolly?
down. Don't look down on Dolly there.
I'm about as ready as I'm going to get.
Well, first, we start with a drink. He looks over to the bar, snaps 3 times. You see a couple of the barmaids come out, and there's just giant platters of tankards that come out, and the crowd starts grabbing. And the 2 biggest ones come to you and to Commandant Arzan. My dear, what is your name?
My name is Dolaria, but you can call me Dolly.
Dolly. It is a pleasure. He raises the tankard, and it's like, again, a normal sized tankard is just like a water bottle. It's kind of like when you see the memes of Shaq holding regular sized things. It is exactly that.
Cheers, then.
Yeah. He raises up, the crowd raises with him. Hey! You start chugging back, and you start realizing, oh, this isn't ending. This isn't ending. This isn't ending. And he's doing the same thing. He's chugging. Now make a Constitution saving throw.
Right. Oh, that's pretty good. We got 23.
Nice. You're going about 10 seconds in. You're like, okay, not enough. boom, you drop the thing, and just before you do, you see Arzan go, forgot to take a breath before I did that.
Just lets out this huge burp.
Wait, Given, go.
Given, quick.
Wait, no.
She is restricted. She can't do it at will.
Yeah.
The universe said no.
We need to add it to the soundboard.
Mm-hmm.
Then she can do it at will.
Yeah, let me
Is
just
that
drink
that-
something really quick.
Yeah. You start seeing people like laugh in a jolly nature at the belch, and the commandant. All right, let's go. Puts his hand out for like raises the hand up for like, you know what's coming.
I'll mirror his moves.
Boom. So Dylan, you son of a bitch. The the muscles come up and down. You guys both sit, and that's where we're gonna end tonight's episode.
Oh.
We'll
We'll resume this combat on the next
Dolly and I are doing the
episode.
most important part of the mission right now.
That's true.
I was like, how do I make this part feel like a Hitman game?
All right.
But with that, I want to thank everybody for staying out tonight. Thank you for coming back. Hopefully we will see you guys next week. And before we go, we have ending announcements, and we're going to go find somebody to go stream after we are done with that. Tom, go! You're muted.
Muted.
Of course. Yep.
Just
Good to
staring
be
at
back.
us.
Thank you again for joining us here in Falscala. Thanks again to D&D Beyond for sponsoring us. And thanks, of course, to Effects May Vary. I realized I haven't changed my script since we were having that war with Charminar over all the no cursings. But yeah, thanks to FX May Vary for sponsoring us and contributing to wonderful artists to the Dire Bear family. You can actually catch the stream therein, run by Charminar on Mondays, Melody of the Maelstrom. Thanks, of course, to our first adept Patreon, Mama Bear. We are, for now, keeping the Diamondback parody songs in prison along with Diamondback himself, but if I can affect a wee bit of Shiren again for just a moment, Mama Bear, your contributions to the Hallowed Revolt will not go unnoticed. Thanks, darling. And of course, while you're here, check out our Dire Bear Patreon if you want to hear me serenade you as my characters. Check out the Dire Bear merch store for some wonderfully nerdy clothing. And of course, check out the other wonderful D&D streams we have going. As mentioned, Melody of the Maelstrom and Oops All Bards party of players, not necessarily characters, happens every other Monday. I actually have not been updated, so is Valley by Night back on, or?
No, just we don't talk about Saturday.
We don't talk about
Okay.
Saturday. We apparently don't talk about Tuesdays either. But hey, we are still here. Tune in every Wednesday night around 7:15ish for your. Oh,
Okay,
yeah.
I'm gonna make an addendum to that. No, Tuesdays are running. They're just doing different games they switch up every couple months now.
That's really cool. So tune in on Tuesdays for that. Then tune in on Wednesdays for our brand of chaos. Is anything happening Thursday? No, I need to be updated. Sweet, nothing happening Thursday, nothing happening Friday. Shit all happening Saturday, which means you got Tuesday and Wednesday for some quality RPG entertainment. And with that, JT, take us home.
Oh, yeah. And I'm out. No, I want to thank everybody for staying out. I want you guys to have a good night. Be safe. I'll see you guys next week. Do you dare to imagine?
Have you ever fought a dragon and stormed its mountain lair? Have you ever killed a vampire and seen the evil in its lair? Have you ever sought adventure and couldn't find it anywhere? Well, here's the answer to Rah!